Yeah, good afternoon again. Pest Up London, your local pest control guy. I have to do it this way, there's no other way. Now then, I've completed the frame, as you can see. I've completed it. I didn't do a video on that. This is part 2, by the way. I'm doing this now, the mesh. I'm going to frame this mesh. I'm going to mesh it now. I'm going to take out these big 12mm. That's no good to me right now. I think the 8mm, because of the they don't want this splitting. This is 8mm, so we're going to get this one. They don't do them in this. They used to do them like this. They used to do them like that. They stopped doing it and they do like this now. So you have to buy a big. I suppose being builders like people like me, we don't mind because we need them, so don't run out so quickly. So and they're very good for. I put my drill bits in. I use it as a container. Very good, convenient, so I don't lose little things. Let's get that out. Okay, that's that out. Hopefully this is exactly what I need it to be. I need it to small dimension. I wonder if this Dettol fits in there easily. Yes, it does. Okay, now I've got it already set up. No place to put it. I'm going to put this like that. I measured this one. Get it exactly where I need it to be. That's about right. Get the first one in anyway. Okay, that's the first one in. Maybe I can trim it if I. That's the second one in. Third one in. I'll trim this. That's it. Normally you would do something like this for flies with material. I've done one for a shop, a restaurant, flies flying around. And I did it similar to this. So this is not sort of first for me. I've done it before, so. That's it. It's working pretty well. That's nice. It's pretty good for that. I mean, you could use that as a. If you had flies coming in, that would be really good. Flies couldn't get through that. So now I'm going to do the other one. I didn't measure this one, but at least I did the other two parts, so I didn't film that because I wanted to move on quicker than normal. So this one has got to be a bit bigger than this one, most likely. I can overlap it, it's no problem. So we've got, yeah, it's 50, it's the same. So, yeah, so it's 50 odd. This is going to be the same as well, 40, yeah, it's the same dimensions. So I've got it smack in the middle. Not exactly smack in the middle, but a lot better than it could have been, you know, so. And get that fluff out the way. That's that. Let's get this more or less there, and that's about, I would say, that's the best type of thing to do. About that, and then this one, yeah. Hopefully, Jerry might give up messing around. Stuart Little. Or Mr. Shingles, that's another one for That's it. Mr. Shingles. The other thing I like about these trousers, these DeWalt's, you know, even in the summer I wear them and people walk around with shorts on, but in my line of work I can't do that. I'd like to wear shorts in the summer, but the problem with that is, you know, my job, I'd most likely get stung somewhere, or sometimes I have to walk through nettles, you know. Imagine wearing shorts walking through nettles, no way, man. Get stung to bits, you know. And the thing I like about these trousers is for pockets and putting my phones in, and, you know, putting tools, you know, so very beneficial, especially when you're working and from a height. If you're working from a height, you've got to have that, something to do like that, instead of having a belt on your tool belt, weighs a ton. So I just, simple. I'm a simple person. I'm a simple person. I don't need a lot to please me. Simple. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for little things. That's gratitude. So that's it. We got that nearly done. It'll be finished. Once that's done, I've got to do the top. I don't know whether I will cut off and do another video, like a part 3. I don't know. I'm going to discover what I'm going to do there. That's like I've got to work out how to improve. And this is the hardest part of this the last part of the job. It's the hardest, because, like I said, I always challenge the hardest first, and then deal with the easy stuff later on. So once I've done the hard, you know, hard take about a day or something, and then when I'm finished doing all the hard stuff, you know, the minor stuff takes a lot less than a day, a couple of hours, I suppose. This is a commentary from a Yorkshireman. A Yorkshireman I am, originally from Richmond, Yorkshire, from the north. I didn't live there that I do. Moved around more than Pickford's. I'll tell you a little story about my life. I used to live in Herwith Moor, and then moved to Darlington for a bit. And this is going back in the 60s, probably before a lot of people were born. And then in about the 70s, I moved. I was about 10 or something. I moved to Scotland, Saltworth Home Farm. That's where I moved to. My father was a racehorse trainer, and I went to school there. You can't imagine. If you don't know what it's like to be bullied, then you need to be an English boy in a Scottish school. Sassenach. I was a Sassenach while I was there. It was horrendous, you know. But I survived, and that's what it's about, surviving in ridiculously hard situations. And it probably makes what you are when you go through a brutal time of younger generation time. It makes you what you are, you know, it builds you up, you know. So I always look at my past, not as a torment. Some people say, oh, I don't want to go back to the past, it was so horrendous. You've got to turn that around. If you want to survive this world, you've got to turn your past around and make it a training ground for your progressing to be what you are. Never look at the past in negative terminology, because if you do, you'll destroy yourself. Always look at your past as to make you what you are today, to make you stronger and build yourself up. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. I have to look at it that way. So that's I went from there. In Scotland, there's no work up there. You know, when I left school, I didn't know what to do. Didn't have a direction. Like someone said, oh, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. I didn't have that, you know, because I didn't have a good education being, when I was at school, I did not know. First, I didn't have glasses, so I couldn't see the exam sheets. And the second one is I didn't know, I only found out a few years ago that I'm dyslexic, but I didn't even know what that meant, you know. So dyslexic means you have difficulty understanding words, and so that's why that was. But you never dwell on that as well. You just better yourself. All you got to do is turn everything around and think positive and make yourself better than what you was. That's the way I look at it. That's what I did. And I've discovered this line of work in my later years. So that's the way it goes. That's the way life is. I have to mention that because a lot of people don't really understand a lot of things, and they before they know who you are, they have already judged who you are. And my father has taught me one very important fact. This is what my father taught me. My father said, never judge someone until you spend one day in his shoes. Once you know what he's going through, then you will think, oh God, I shouldn't say what I said. I shouldn't say that to him. You should know, your mouth operates a lot faster than your brain does. I think you should slow right down, let the brain catch up to and then the brain will say, hey, don't say that. The brain will say, stop where you are, don't say that. So that's the way I look at it. Always put a pause on things when you see someone. If you see someone and you think, oh, look at him, how do you know what he's going through? His life could be a turtle, whatever it is. So put yourself on a pause button. That's it. That's the way I look at it. So this is nearly done. Once I've done this, we're going to be putting this in there, and then that'll be the end of this video, and there'll be another upload for the top bit. That's the way I look at it. Going from Scotland, I've joined the Royal Air Force in 1978. Got posted to West Drayton, and I got posted to West Drayton, and I got posted to Gibraltar. I was in Gibraltar for 2.5 years. It was very good there. I enjoyed it, but it was in a dead-end job. So it doesn't matter whether I enjoyed it or not. It wasn't in where I was supposed to be. So sometimes happiness is not what you think it is until you find where you need to be, and then you know where you are. This is very difficult to take. Gone to shit, but it's okay. Main thing is the frame is recovered. The hole in the middle. It's the main thing. Regardless to the outer. That's done. I'll trim it off later. That's the main thing done. That's the main thing done. Okay, we're nearly there. On the finishing. Yeah, I was a runner as well in Gibraltar. I was fit, not like I didn't have this when I was fit. I used to do every type of sport you could think of. Yes, every night after work, because I was working in a really rubbish job, cleaning and washing. And at night I'd do 6 miles around the Gibraltar Rock. Fit, really, really fit. I used to run across the sand and run with weights. I used to have weights on my ankles and my wrists, and I used to train like that. And I run races with the Navy and the Army. I never won because it was not, for me, it wasn't about winning. It was about, I just enjoyed it, that's all. I enjoyed doing it. So this is nearly complete. It's just has to be trimmed, I suppose. A bit like, you know, when you make a cake or you make a pastry and you cut off the excess, if you like, doing that. Cutting off all the bits and bobs. That's it. So this needs to be cut here. Cut other than galvanized steel. That's pretty good. That's the end result. That's what it looks like from scratch. This is all from scratch, not pre-built in a kit that you get. None of that. So this is going to go in here, and as much as I'd like to say it would be going there perfectly, and I made it, and I'm the winner, and we've got to get in there first to say that. I get it in there when it was a frame before, and it was all great, and now I put it together. It's sometimes not always the case. Yes, let me push it down, it goes in. Push. Went in there before. Yeah. It's about to go in. That's okay. So it's just about in. I'm going to do some adjustments. That's what it would look like. I'm going to fix it when I'm going to do another video. I'm going to make the top one, but this is what it looks like. That's kind of the that's how it is, say. And the mouse, they can't come out of there, so that's the whole purpose of that. As I said, tailor-made stuff. If nobody will help you with tailor-made stuff and you're not getting any support, call Pest Stop London on 0203 633 2928. If you're on Facebook, like the video, share it with your friends. If on YouTube, do the same, share it with your friends, and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more uploads. Thank you for watching.